the old Chevy sits outside once again. Tisk, tisk, tisk. It's been outside for about a week now, just baking in the sun, getting rained on. Oh, and look at what happened to the freaking windshield. Somehow I got a bad batch of this window ribbon crap, and the windshield actually settled down, and there's a huge gap right here where it just opened right up. I don't even want to look at it. Man, and you know I got a bad batch of that stuff, and I know it's not anything I did wrong, because the back window I put in with the same stuff, it was a different roll though, and the back window's completely fine. The back window hasn't moved at all. But we got some pretty exciting stuff going on today. There's a reason this car's outside, and there's a darn good reason for it, because we're doing something exciting inside the garage, even more exciting than all the other projects you've seen. This is probably the most exciting thing that we've done here at High Voltage Diesel so far. You ready to check it out? What is going on in here? Yeah, we just decided to put some plastic on the floor. You know, why not? It'll help with the stones. I'd rather roll around on this wire mesh than roll around on the stones. Wait, and what's that? We got some 2x6s on the wall, almost like they're forms for something. We even got a drain. What is going on around here? We got a drain by the door with a pipe? Seriously, I have no idea what is going on in here. But one thing I do know is I am getting sick and tired of rolling around on stones. I'm getting tired of painting on stones. I'm getting tired of rolling my welder around on stones. And I'm just getting sick of working on stones. I've literally been working on stones for my entire life. I've never had a nice floor. And today, that is gonna change for good. So we have some 4,000 small stone concrete coming, and we are gonna pour this floor, and then I'm gonna power trowel it, and hopefully it comes out good. I'm gonna do it all myself and with the help of a couple good friends. I've done concrete a couple little times helping some concrete people, but I've never actually done it myself and been the boss. So who knows what's gonna happen? Maybe the power trowel will take off. I have no idea. Well, it took about 3 hours, some good help, and look at where we're at. Man, what do we got? We got a concrete floor. Oh boy. We got our power trowel here. I just did a first round with the power trowel, trying to feel this thing out. I've never used one before. Got a brand new one to use, so that's pretty cool. Definitely not too bad. Takes a little bit to get used to, but one thing I know is you can always do stuff yourself. I don't know how many people say, you can't do concrete floor yourself, you can't use a power trowel, you're not experienced. Well, you know what? Those big guys that are experienced, they started in the same place that I'm in right now, and everything that I do that I'm experienced in, this is where I started. So you know what? I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be happy with however it comes out, because it's gonna be a lot better than rolling around in this. I am so happy right now. It looks super good, and it's only gonna get better from here, as long as I don't go for a ride on this thing. Well, who's ready to see the finished product and just how, I don't even want to know how it looks. Let's see here. Whoa. Man, this is weird. First of all, stepping up into the building, this floor is 6 inches higher than it was. I used to come and like step down and go, oh. I was like, wow, that's a heck of a step down. But anyway, look at this. Man, it's actually pretty hot in here. It's like 65 degrees. Wow. What kind of job did we do anyway? Is High Voltage Diesel gonna turn into High Voltage Concrete? Well, I don't even know. I don't think I did too bad. Look at this floor though. This floor came out like absolute glass. You can actually see the reflection in it. Look at this. This is nice. Man, this is gonna be so nice, guys. I am so sick and tired of working on stones. I can't even tell you in a million words how sick and tired of it I am. This is nice. We're a little bit rough around the edges. You know, like everything at High Voltage Diesel, everything here is rough around the edges, even the garage. Got a little bit sloppy in the corners. Yeah, that's definitely not professional work. But that's all right. You know, the corners are going to have cabinets and stuff on it. You know, definitely this was a lot different than what I thought it was going to be. I had some really good help. I had one guy that really knew what he was doing way more than I did. And definitely came out really nice. I mean, the floor came out perfectly level. It came out beautiful. Really, the only thing is just the corners. I should have, you know, got on my hands and knees and kind of went around and troweled the corners a little better, but I didn't. Well, whatever. It is what it is. The corners are going to be all full of stuff. You're never going to see any of that, and it doesn't really matter. But I could tell you one thing, we are definitely not done yet, because there's another step we have to do. Here's our drain right here. I just kind of went right over it. I taped it and just went right over it with the concrete and didn't even worry about it. I'll just bust that out after. There's tape coming through right there. I think that should knock out pretty easy. Oh yeah, look at that. But we're definitely not done yet, because behind door number 1, there's a car. And behind door number 2, there's a concrete saw. Oh yeah, look at this thing. This thing's pretty cool. Now it's time to saw the joints. So what I'm gonna do is just go every 8 feet and then just do one right up the middle. And we're gonna call it a day. And I wanted to get one of the ones with the wheels on it, because I am getting too old to do the old demo saw one and just bend over for 3 hours. And I want as nice of a job as I could possibly get, and I want it to be easy. So I think that thing there is definitely gonna make life so much easier. Oh, I'm definitely glad I had a mask and some earplugs on doing that. Ooh, that thing works pretty good. It kind of sucks because this thing is kind of wore out, and this thing just moves all over the place, so it's easy to get off track, so this thing's pretty much useless. So I've just found that pushing it and looking at that arrow seems to be the way to go. But it came out pretty good. I'm not complaining. Came out really good, I think. Did a nice job all the way down. And it's definitely a lot easier than using the old traditional demo saw, I could tell you that much. I think that'll work good. So I got 3 more cuts. I'm just going basically from post to post. They're 8 feet apart. So I got 1 and then 2 more. I'm just gonna do one right down the center. And then as far as the drain goes, because the drain pretty much is 6 inches deep, I'm just gonna do one at the edge of the drain to the wall, and then kind of the same thing. And I think that'll kind of save me from, because I know it's gonna crack where the drain is. It's pretty much guaranteed. Well, gearheads and ghouls. It's only been about a week now, but we've been working on our new floor. Let's check this thing out. I know I've already been in here a couple times, but look at this. We got the old piece of junk Chevy back in. We've been doing some crap on this garbage, getting it ready for the junkyard, getting it ready for the crusher. Probably will be crushed in another 30 years or so, but whatever. Well, we got the fuel tank in this piece of junk. The original one's rotted out, and I'm not buying a new one because that's how we work here at High Voltage Diesel. We make do with what we got. We don't go out and buy new stuff unless it's absolutely necessary. Look at this. We got our floor drain all set. Man, this floor is just absolutely amazing. This car even looks better in here for some reason. Just look at all this stuff. Look at all this room. I got all this garbage out of here now. I'm not allowed to do anything on this floor that requires like heavy metal wheels, like engine stands and metal cabinets and stuff for 28 days after the pour. So we got a little bit of time yet, but I'm gonna try to get the motor in this thing anyway outside. I mean, let's face it, I've been working on stones long enough. What's a few more days of working on stones, right? Because I don't want to wait 28 days. But I got a pretty darn cool project going on behind me for a really special little boy. And his birthday's gonna be coming up pretty soon. And he's gonna be getting one heck of a birthday gift. Not even gonna be old enough to ride it yet. So this is just a piece of junk four-wheeler, electric one. Well, it's just a shell. This thing was just left outside to die. We're fixing it up for him. So this thing was just black. I metal flaked it. Look at the metal flake on this thing. We're doing kind of a budget paint job. So we're trying out some different candy colors, doing some lowrider stuff because, I mean, he's just gonna be a lowrider kind of kid. We're just getting ready to lay down some candy over this thing and make a mess. We're doing some stuff kind of like that. But I thought maybe you'd want to tune in and kind of see how this goes. Because, you know, our last few candy paint jobs we did on a really low budget didn't work out. But this one we're actually trying to do somewhat right. Oh yeah. Oh, that's pretty darn cool. Look at that. Man. Yeah, that's gonna look cool. That actually looks pretty cool with the tape on there. I like the way the yellow tape is kind of fading in like that. Man, this thing's looking pretty cool. That's a really nice, like, purplish color. That should get a little darker the more coats I do, but I'm going to do a few light coats on this thing and see what happens. The thing with the candies is you can't go back. Once you spray too much over the metal flake, you're done. This is basically the candy we made right here. We made this out of some, I don't know, just some toner paint like we mess with. We got some Omni Mixing Clear right here. It's basically like clear coat, but it's base coat instead of like a catalyzed clear. And we're just kind of messing around with some reducer and all that. You don't need to spend the big bucks on candy paint, guys. Come on. I mean, that looks pretty darn good right there. Let's let this dry, put a few more coats on it, and we'll see what's cooking. Just having a concrete floor and getting off these rocks is just enough to motivate me to just do so much more stuff. I used to get so burned out coming over here, working on this frickin' stone floor. I get bruises all over my back and my butt cheeks and my arms and shoulders and everything from rolling underneath cars and this kind of crap right here. And now I've been getting under this thing and it's like, wow, I don't even need a creeper because I already am one. There we go. Check this thing out, man. Wow, just look at that pop. So it's like 3 coats of that makeshift candy color, and then I took the tape off. So now we got even a bigger surprise. Check this out. Look at this baby shit green. That's absolutely disgusting color, right? You just wait and see what this color does over metal flake. You wouldn't believe. So make sure you are strapped in with your armchair with like one of those heavy-duty toe straps, because that might not even hold you in when you see what we do with this. So there we go. There's 3 coats of the baby crap green on there. I told you that was gonna be nice. Nobody listens. So this is just gonna keep getting better and better. Check this out. So now we're gonna take and we're gonna pull our outline off on this. Yeah, you see that silver right there? We're gonna do this all the way around. Look at that. And then what we're gonna do after that is put a little bit more of this gold around the outline to kind of make a faded outline. That's gonna look even better. And that's what I'm talking about right there. That's cool stuff. Just kind of went a little bit overboard. I did some shading here with some different things and just kind of did some shading on some of the other pinstripes just to kind of give it some contrast. I'm kind of tempted to go over the silver where the bare metal flake is, but I think I'm going to keep that just to kind of make that pop, that real crazy contrast, because I do kind of want this thing to look flashy, even though it already does look flashy. These are pretty cool colors though. Just what I had sitting on the shelf. Just 2 random colors I picked out, and I did all this with just 2 random colors, but you could see when you go over that gold right there with this red color, it kind of makes like an orange. So I mean, you can make all different kind of colors with just 2 colors depending on how you want to work them. And then like the gold, that when I use the gold that goes over the pink color here, it kind of makes like even more of a red color. So I mean, there's so many different things you could do, and it just looks really neat like this. So I'm gonna leave it right here, and I'm gonna throw some clear on this thing, and that's really gonna make it pop. Oh boys, it's the end of another day, and we are pretty darn dirty here. I think this shirt, I'd probably get a couple more years out of this shirt. I think this thing's got a lot of life left to it. That's how we work here. We use what we got until it ain't usable anymore. Yeah, so it's been a pretty exciting couple of days. And I'm gonna wrap this video up with something pretty darn exciting that bet you weren't expecting, and actually I wasn't expecting either. And it's right behind you, so let's turn around and see what we got. But first, we're gonna pan this way and see what we got, and that might give you a hint to see what's behind you. So we got a couple mufflers and an exhaust system laying on the ground that we put together. Man, oh man, what a cobble job this is. Junk. We got some nice Flowmaster mufflers. These Flowmaster mufflers are worth more than the car that they're going on is worth. Behind door number big here, well, we just got something kind of cool that just kind of happened. I came in the shop one day and this motor was in. I was like, what? I think the mice must have been hard at work at night or something, and instead of destroying stuff, they actually put it back. I think the mice were feeling bad about what they did to this car and how bad they rotted it and all the stuff they chewed up, so they decided to give a little bit back to the community, you know, the high voltage community. And this is what they did, so I mean, I really appreciate it. But what I don't appreciate that they did for me, I mean, it's nice that they did this, but I tell you what, this cob job that they had to do to get this camper motorhome manifold to fit with that steering box, I mean, that is just some fine quality work right there. I mean, it looks like they kind of cut that off. That was up here. Yeah, there we go. It looks like this part right here was right here, and then that piece right there was right there, and it looks like they just cut that whole thing and moved it back and just put a piece of exhaust pipe in there so it would clear that steering gearbox. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. I mean, Twinkle Toes was nice enough to put the motor in for us. I mean, I ain't gonna complain. I mean, it's better than them building nests and everything. See, right there, right down in there is a good spot for them to build some nests. So that's probably why they did that. Next winter, they'll be living in there. It doesn't look like they had any problems with this manifold, though. This one fit right in. Even got a crappy refurbished starter that works that's going in this junk. Look at this thing. I can't believe that motor fit in there. But there's a little bit more that I want to share. We're not done yet. Oh, this concrete floor. I am in love with this concrete floor. Like, it doesn't get any better than this. Like, I'm so used to rolling around on stones and all that stuff, and I could just lay down. So we got our Turbo 400 in this thing. We had to make a custom cross member because this car did not come with a cross member. And somebody, probably Twinkle Toes, just butchered this piece right here all up on both sides because they were going to put like a manual transmission in or something like that. And the previous owner of this car definitely didn't know what they were doing as far as welding goes. And I just had to cut everything off. I mean, Twinkle Toes had to cut everything off and then had to just completely remake a cross member out of some tubing here. It looks pretty good. I actually got the centerpiece kind of like pre-made. It kind of came with the car and it bolted on. Of course, a bolt broke up in the aluminum housing on the transmission. Had to be all drilled out, tapped. We got a bunch of hydraulic fluid leaking out of this thing onto the floor. Oh yeah, just that'll break the new concrete floor in, definitely. Yeah, the cross member looks pretty good. Everything just fits, you know, like it's supposed to. That drag link's literally living up to its name and dragging on the oil pan. That's weird, you know, I bought a oil pan for this car, but I guess that must be the whole purpose behind the drag link. I mean, it's dragging on the oil pan, so. I put this windshield in, as you guys watched in a video, with just that window ribbon butyl tape stuff. And it worked fine, and then the first time I pulled this thing outside and it sat outside for a while, and it got hot, these windows just settled right down. And what ended up happening is there was a huge, like a 1/4-inch gap in the top of this thing. And I was mad. I was getting ready to bulldoze this car and like just trash it, like full whistle and diesel on this thing. And I literally looked for 2 weeks to try to find a glass guy to come out and take these windows out and reseal them because I didn't want to deal with it. And I couldn't find anybody to do it. And I found one guy to do it, and they wanted like $700 just to cut it out and I said, nah. So I talked to kind of an old friend, well, an old timer friend that I have. And what he said to do was get it out in the hot sun and put some suction cups on it and slowly, you know, little by little, just push the windshield back up. And I actually did that. It took a couple hours, but I actually managed to get it back up. This windshield was actually sitting. It went as down as far as it can. It was sitting right there, which caused the top to open up. The problem is now that the windshield sinks down in compared to the roof line, so now the trim's never gonna line up. But you know what? I'm over it. I had enough. I'm not gonna pull the glass out and redo it because the likelihood of not breaking this glass, pulling it out, the chances are pretty slim to none. So that's the way it's gonna be. It is what it is, and that's just how I'm gonna live with it. This is nice though, because now I got this thing on wheel dollies. I could wheel this junk around, put it right in the back corner for 3 months. I mean, it definitely beats sitting outside though. We got our fuel tank in this piece of junk. We're all set to do some barbecues. Some of the guys on the Impala forum told me that it looked like a barbecue in the back of the car. I was like, it actually does. Now I can't get that out of my mind. Yeah, she's coming along pretty darn good though. I can't wait. It's getting pretty darn close to getting this pile of junk running.
End of transmission.